I fell into a hopeless gloom. I could hardly believe that the quiet life I had finally attained had been shattered in a blink of an eye. Hayden's other servants quickly went their own ways, and I vividly remember the dirty looks they all gave me. Everyone who knew how he had died assumed I had done it. I had no reason to kill him, though. But they had more than enough to believe so, for I had indeed been the last person to see him alive, and I held firmly to the story he had asked me to tell. While I was unable to convince the other servants, his family was far more accepting of the story that he had departed for the next world happily, though that did not make the truth any less heartbreaking, especially since I was the only one who knew it. Why does this always have to happen? I was happy, but I never seem to keep hold of it for more than a flash. Despair always comes marching in to rip it away. What am I doing here? What kind of person were you, Michelle? What kind of person was I? Oh, my dear, you look positively miserable. Why should you despair at the death of some strange old geezer? Morgana, was Hayden one of those whom you wish to be reconstructed? I have no interest in that wrinkled bag of bones. And if he was one of them, do you really think I would have let him go so peacefully? Peaceful? You call that peaceful? You call his miserably... You call his misery peaceful? I most certainly do. And since you do not seem to understand this, the pain of death lasts but an instant. The worst torture can only be inflicted upon the living. Setting two loved ones against one another, manipulating one into taking the other's life, and then forcing him to live with that. The stage hasn't been set yet, my dear. Hasn't even been set yet, my dear. Wait. And you would have me play a part in that? Indeed. You agreed to accompany me. You are here to be my guide, and you're doing a wonderful job of it so far. I haven't done anything. Oh, but you killed that old man, did you not? Thanks to you, my wish is one step closer to fruition. What do you mean I killed Hayden? You mean to claim you didn't? Tell me, who was it that put the poison sugar in his tea? No, I didn't mean to. Your intentions are irrelevant. Everything moves along the path forged by my wish, and you shall continue to follow its will. You know what? I'm done feeling like this. I don't want anyone else to go through what Hayden did. And what are you going to do about it? I'm done listening to you. Without me, you have no influence over this world. Oh. So I'll die. I'll take my own life right here and now. I grabbed a nearby knife and held the tip against my breast. My hands were shaking, my heart pounding. My whole body was racked with terror, but I could have sworn I heard Morgana gasp. This was her one weakness, I thought. What are you thinking? Don't do this, Giselle. Don't be foolish. Put the knife down right now. I'm done trusting anything you say. Giselle, put the knife down. I've missed you so very much, Michelle. I've wanted nothing more than to see you again. But if my being Morgana's guide is going to cause other people suffering, then I can't. It's all over, Morgana! There's no blood. Not even pain. Why? Absolutely brilliant. I told you not to be foolish, but you just wouldn't listen to me. Such a silly girl. I really am. I couldn't even die if I wanted to. Learning that absolutely crushed me. My backup plan, the one escape route I had thought available to me, had been ripped away. My spirit crumbled, and I felt myself sinking into a vast darkness. I began losing my grip on myself, which is when I recalled Hayden's advice. Build a cocoon. It was the only option I had left. My final chance at protecting myself, although ultimately I was unsuccessful in that endeavor, as you know. But by that point, my mind and spirit had all been lost, eroded away by the years of solitude, the witch's whispers, the brief glimmer of happiness, and the eternal boundless darkness it had left me in. It was in that moment that all light drained from my eyes, and it was in that moment that the maid was born.
Oh, dearest Mel, come over here. There's so many beautiful flowers.
Now, Nellie, there's no need to run. You're going to fall, and you can't say I didn't warn you.
Hello, I've never seen you before. Are you the new maid?
Fuck, it's also painful how just innocent and nice Nellie is. Like, what the... I was trying to be mostly impartial when reading the first door, but she's a bitch in the first door when she's a teenager. Like, she's a cunt, man. But fucking so much potential, so many what ifs, what could have been. That's why it's so sad why this works so effectively. Good afternoon, Lady Nellie. That is correct. It is an honor to serve you.
Oh, did you do all this?
I did not. The garden was your grandfather, Lord Hayden's work.
Wow, is grandfather a wizard?
Perhaps he was. I am sure he would be delighted to know you like it.
Did grandfather like flowers?
Yes, he loved them quite dearly.
Wow, I love flowers too. I've never seen a garden with so many pretty flowers. Did you know this kind of flower is called a rose? Just like our name.
Why, yes, they do sound alike. And like the flowers, you are also a very sweet little girl.
Say, what's your favorite color of rose?
I like all colors.
But you don't like any the most? Well, that's too bad.
Okay, you don't need to... That's a bit on the nose.
My favorite is pink. Pink roses are so pretty.
Indeed they are. Geez, there you are, Nellie. Oh, my apologies. Please don't mind my sister. Oh, not at all. We were having the most wonderful time. That's good. I imagine we'll be seeing each other around, so it's a pleasure to...
Dearest Mel, let's see what it's like inside, what the inside's like. Mother says I have my very own room.
Slow down, Nellie. I beg your pardon. The inseparable siblings ran off toward the mansion, hand in hand. It was a heartwarming sight. But the next morning, when they stepped inside, I saw something else. The darkness enveloping the mansion seemed to flare up, the open door a gaping maw into its hungry bowels. The whole house looked as though it was cackling. It was, I presume, the witch Morgana's madness taking form, a manifestation of how she felt now that her centuries in the making wish was bearing fruit. Those 2 children were the ones Morgana had been waiting for. Had I still any willpower to fight left in me, I would have taken them by the hands and sent them somewhere far away. I would have done something before the house swallowed them up. But instead, I just gently lowered my eyes. Misfortune would surely sink its teeth into those 2 children before long. Pain and misery would befall them. I knew no good lay ahead for them, but my heart had all but frozen solid. I had my hands full taking care of myself, so I let Hayden's beloved grandchildren fall into the witch's hands. I was, for all intents and purposes, Morgana's marionette. Morgana's marionette. I was trying to make that an epic line read, but it didn't work. At long last it has arrived. The time I have been waiting so long for has arrived. Darling, devoted Giselle, I know not how to describe you, the fiery excitement burning within me. And she's officially the maid now. Oh, I know. I can tell you my story. Tell you exactly what that mild-mannered little boy once did. You'll be open to listening now, won't you, my dear? And you'll surely understand that I am doing nothing wrong. Because you're my ally, my trusty servant. You and I, we live in the same world. We're as close as family. Are we not? Yes, as you say. So let us curse them, all of them. Let us inflict a pain worse than physical torture on them. Let us put their souls on the rack for all eternity. Curse them. Make them suffer. Curse them. Now, listen carefully, Giselle. This is a tale of a wicked man and my curse upon... This is a tale of wicked men and my curse upon them. The witch spat her curses for some time. The bile overflowing from her words, the pure, unadulterated hatred brimming within, consumed me more than the horrifying things they described. She was brutally honest, each word a carefully sharpened blade of animosity. How much bitterness did you have to carry inside you to become like her? How long did you have to feel nothing but hatred to become like her? I felt like if I let my guard down, I would be consumed by her enmity. It would become mine, and I would grow to despise them myself. All the while, I kept my mind on one single thing. That is, what was left of my mind locked away inside a shell of my own creation. It was that solitary truth that allowed me to hold on to my human emotions, to continue believing. That is what was left of my mind, locked away inside a shell of my own creation. I'm always waiting. My love will never fade. When I was still my old self, I called them master and would do anything for them. Michelle. That was their name. They were beautiful. They had pearly white hair and ruby eyes. They are going to come for me. Michelle, all I can remember about you is your name, your glassy white skin, your fiery red eyes, and your snow-colored hair. Nothing else. And that's why, when I saw her that night, dripping from the storm raging outside, I thought, you're finally here. Because I didn't remember enough to know any better. You already know who I speak of, don't you? The person who called upon Rose Manor that fated stormy night. The girl with almost translucently pale skin, chillingly white hair and eyes like jewels. What a beautiful girl. Her hair, her eyes, her porcelain skin. It all matches the person in my memories. She must be the one I've been waiting for. If she is. And man, like, the way the maid narrated the first 3, maybe, I guess 4 chapters, there's such like an unsettling, uncomfortable undertone of her like really heavily hardcore objectifying the white-haired girl. And like that is 100% intentional. It's supposed to make you feel a little bit off-put, I think. Because how fucking tragic, man. Is something the matter? No, I just thought I felt someone watching us. It's only your imagination, I'm sure. If not your imagination, then perhaps some unseen force was watching you. Unseen force? Are you familiar with how people refer to this mansion? Rose Manor. Yes, indeed. It is called Rose Manor because you can smell the sweet fragrance of the rose garden even at a great distance. But that is not what I mean. It is said that a witch resides within the house. A witch? I have not heard any such stories. You probably wouldn't have. It was a very, very long time ago. Nothing you need concern yourself with. You have a peculiar presence about you. Should I consider that a compliment? A peculiar presence, she says. Does she sense something in me, as I do her? This has to be her, then. Her name. I need to ask her name. It's getting late. You should get some rest. A room has already been set aside for you. But first, may I ask you one thing? Yes? I do not believe you have given me your name yet. My name is... Michelle. I knew it. You were the one.
What?
You are the one I have been waiting for. I have endured so much in anticipation of this moment, so that I could reunite with you. You came to this place to see me again, did you not? Held tight to those wonderful memories until you could make it back to me. I never gave up hope. I always believed, and I hope you'll praise me for that. And I ask you to please say my name, to please make me. Fuck. I don't know anything about you. I'm sorry, you seem to be confusing me for someone. We have never met before now. You jest. You are Michelle, are you not? That is my name, yes, but it's a fairly common name. Surely you're confusing me with... That cannot be. That white hair, white skin, those red eyes, and that name. The name of the Archangel. Archangel, Archangel. Everything about you is the same. How can you say you are not my Michelle? Please, Michelle, remember for me. Stay away from me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. You would reject me? I'm so sorry. I honestly don't know you. Do you care nothing anymore for the time we spent together? We have not spent any time together. You would deny everything. I'm sorry. I see. I see. So you feel nothing for me anymore. You do not need to say anything, I understand. You are feeling a great deal of disgust toward me. No, or perhaps it is fear. Yes, you are always so kind. You would not easily allow yourself to succumb to hatred. I understand. Please forget everything I have said. Who are you? I am but a simple maid. Nothing more. Laughable, isn't it? I no longer recognized Michelle as anything more than a concept. Man or woman, elderly or infant, as long as they had white hair, red eyes, and the right name, they were you. I needed anything I could get. I was so desperate, the thought never even crossed my mind that she was not you. What do you think, seeing me like this? That I'm helpless and hopeless? Listen to this, Morgana. Michelle is back. She's finally come for me.